This one needs some skills. Okay. Let me just talk about this first. Okay. This is the diagram given to you, right? Now, a lot of you will be very, very frightened because you see this diagram. It's a sphere plus a cone, right? What's more, the cone is inside, agree or not? Okay, now the question says this. Okay, the diagram shows a right circular cone with radius r cm and height h cm inscribed in a sphere of radius 4.5 cm. The volume of the right circular cone is V cm cubed. Show that r is square root 9h minus h squared. Okay, a lot of people are stuck. They can't even show, no? How many can't even show? It's okay one, I'm not scolding you. Okay? Now, you have to work harder. Okay? You got to look at the diagram. Alright? You cannot just stare at it and then you don't know what to do. Now, we know that the radius of the sphere is 4.5 cm. Agree, class? Look at the question. What did they say? The radius of a sphere is 4.5 cm. Now, all of you look up. This is the center of the sphere, which means this will be a 4.5 cm. Talking to the class. I better get rid of this so that you can see better. Yeah? Okay? Now, we know this guy is R. Agree? Now, this whole thing is h, the height of the cone. So, do you agree that this is also 4.5 from here to here? Why? Because it's the radius of the sphere, correct? Now, if this whole thing is h, this is 4.5, how much is this? The whole thing is h, this is 4.5, how much is this? H minus 4.5, right? Everybody agree how I'm talking about? Yes or no? You see, if you do not even know the orientation of the diagram, that's it. You cannot do anything. What do you think is my purpose of doing this? Use what? Pythagoras theorem. Very good. So I have r squared plus agree? Yes or no? So I have r squared is actually 4.5 squared minus, right? I'll bring it to the other side. Correct? Now I'm going to expand. 4.5 squared is actually 20.25 h squared minus 9h plus 20.25. So this is 20.25 minus h squared plus 9h minus 20.25. Now life is good, LG, 20.25 minus 20.25 is what? 0. So 0. So I will have 9h minus h squared. If I rearrange. Okay, so what's my R? Show that R is 9h minus h squared. Everybody clear? Everybody clear? Yes or no? Now, can someone actually explain to me or tell me why I chose this question? Because actually this first part is very easy to see, but you cannot see, You understand what I'm talking about? Because why? You are too confined by the sphere and the cone, you cannot even see the radius. You get what I'm talking about here? Yes or no? Okay, alright, good. Next part. What did they say? Part 2. Express V in terms of h. Now, What did the question say V represents? Can you tell me first? V represents what? The volume of the cone, right? What's volume of the cone? 1/3 pi r squared h, right? Don't we, class? Yes or no? Okay. 1/3 pi. Now, can you see r squared is this one? Can you see it? Okay, talking to you. Yeah? Okay. R squared is 9h minus h squared times h, right? They say they want V in terms of h mark. Okay? So, I will have, if I were to expand out, what do I get here? 3 pi h minus 1/3 pi h squared. No, not squared. Did I make a mistake? 1/3 pi r squared h. There's a h. Oh, sorry, this is a square, this is a cube. Am I right? Because there's another h there. Am I right? Correct now. So can you see part 2 is done already? Understand? Now, of course, I just want to tell you, even if you cannot show this guy, right, you can go and continue, understand? 1/3 pi r square h. Understand now? Okay, now next one. What did they say? Part 3. Given that h can vary, find the value of h for which the volume is stationary. So I must go and find dV, dh first, right? Don't forget, pi is a value. So when I differentiate, 6 pi h, right? Minus pi h squared. Correct now? Stationary means what? When dV, dh is what? Yes, very good. I will have 6 pi h minus pi h squared equals to 0. Take out common factor, will be pi h 6 minus h equals to 0, right? This one will be h equals to 0 or h equals to 6, right? Everybody okay? Can? Now, I want to ask, can h be 0? Look at this diagram. Can h ever be 0? If it's 0, there's nothing already. Can you see? Okay, so this guy will be rejected. Therefore, given that h may vary, find the value of h for which the volume is stationary. So h will be equals to 6. Everybody clear? Everybody clear? Okay, alright. Can I pick out this part already? Okay, good. Now, next. What did part 4 say? Part 4 says what? Explain why this value of h gives the maximum volume and hence find this value of V. Okay, I'm going to find d2V dh squared. That means I differentiate this again, right? I will get a 6 pi minus 2 pi h, right? Yes or no? When x, sorry, not when x, when what? Yes, when h is 6, I will get d2v dh squared will be 6 pi minus 12 pi. This is a negative 6 pi, right? Do you agree negative 6 pi is less than 0? Correct. So d2v dh squared is less than 0. Therefore, v is a maximum value, right? When h is 6, right? Now, mind you, can you see I say maximum value, I didn't say maximum point. You say a point when it's stationary points. You understand? Maximum value. Now, are we done with the question? What did they say? Find what? Hence find what? This value of v. So, v will be equals to, can you see, is this one? V is equivalent to this one. Okay, so I will plug in 3 pi 6 squared minus 1/3 pi 6 cubed. Now you can leave the answer in terms of pi, or you can just give it to 3/6. It's up to you. Okay, My answer is actually 113.09. Therefore, this is a 113. If you key in the calculator, can you please double check for me? Because sometimes I do make mistake. I'm not an encyclopedia, you know. You understand? Okay, now I just want to ask you something. Can you see this one is everything you know how to do? But you'll be stuck with this. Once you're stuck with the diagram, you cannot do anything. Can you see what I'm talking about here? Follow class. So when we look at diagram, we must be more flexible. Do you understand what I'm talking about? That's why this question was chosen. Okay? Now can I move on now to the last question? Okay? We have question 13. Let's look at question 13. Okay. This is XCN, this is HCN. Can I clean up all the red stuff on the board? Okay. Alright, the question says, the diagram shows a closed prism container made of aluminium that has been designed to contain a chocolate product. The container has an equilateral triangular cross-section face of side XCN. That means all these are equal. All these are equal because it's an equilateral triangle. Can you see? Okay. Now, at the height of HCN, it has a fixed volume of 12 cm cubed. Show that the total surface area SCM squared of the closed prism container is given by this nonsense down there. Okay? Now, I want all of you to look here. How do you find the volume of a prism? Is base area times height, right? Correct? Yes or no? Now, some people will not know how to get the base area. Now, they already told you it's an equilateral triangle. So, for an equilateral triangle, if this is XCN, 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 this will be 60 degrees. Equilateral, correct? Okay. So, volume of prism, okay, will be base area times height. Okay? Now, this base area, I can take half AB sine C, you know. Correct? What is sine 60? Square root 3 over 2, right? Okay, so half XX sine 60 times H, right? Correct? This must give me 12, right? The question says what? Is 12. Everybody okay? Which means to say that 12 is equal to half x squared. Now this is root 3 over 2 h. So 12 is actually root 3 over 4 x squared h. Agree? Now what is h then? 12. I'll write like that better lah. Then you can see from here. 12 divided by. Agree now? Okay? Yeah? Now, I told you before, if I write it in the middle, that means it belongs to the top, right? Now, I can do this as 12 times 4 over root 3x squared. I flip over, right? Divide, change to times, flip over. So what does this give me? 48 over root 3 x squared, correct? Everybody okay? I find like that first. Okay? Now, how would we find the total surface area of a prism? it will be the two base area, right, plus all the lateral faces. Okay, I revised one formula with you. I don't know whether you can remember this when you were in your lower secondary. Now class, supposing this is the triangle, okay? I don't have a blue paper, this is a triangle. Can you see? Pretend there's a triangle, whatever. Now, can you see that, this is bad. I see whether I got paper or not first. Cannot, this is my matrices notes. Later I will see. Wait very fast one wait the one nonsense here. Okay, this is the paper, right? Wait Now, can you see this is the triangle? Correct? I have two base area, right? This one plus this one, right? Now, do you agree that when the perimeter of the base, that means this plus this plus this, that's perimeter of the base, right? I open up, it becomes a rectangle. Length times breadth. I will get everything. Okay, just like cylinder also. If it's cylinder, it's round, right? I'll take circumference, correct? Circumference when I open is the length, then times the breadth or the height. Clear? Okay. Now, so total surface area. Okay, total surface area S will be, now this is the base area, you agree? I must times 2, right? Top and bottom, correct? Will be 2 times correct? Plus, do you agree the parameter is 3x? 3x times what? Times h, right? Correct? 3x times h. Now, I don't want it in terms of h. So I'm going to simplify this. This one will become root 3 over 2 x squared plus 3x. H will be this one, right? So what do I get here? 48 over root 3x squared. Correct? Okay. Now, this will be this. Now, I'm going to rationalize this. Because of the root 3, I cannot get the answer that we want. So, actually, I must times the root 3 over root 3. Can you see? I'm multiplying by 1. So, this one will become 48 root 3 over 3 x squared. Can you see? Okay? So I will get a root 3 over 2x squared plus, now this is gone, so I will have 48 root 3 over x squared. Not x squared, just x, because I cancel off already. Okay? Now, the question says show that is this. S is this. Can you see? I already showed. Can see what I'm talking about here? I've already shown. Everybody okay? Now, where will you be stuck? First thing, you forgot to apply half AB sin C. You do not know how to get. Understand? Therefore, you'll be stuck. Okay? Now, after that, they say, find the value of X for which the cost of aluminium needed to produce a container is a minimum. Now, the aluminium will be all the total surface area, right? Minimum means I must find ds dy. Dx, right? Correct now? Ds dx. Okay, I'm going to write this over here. Okay, I'm going to rewrite again. Root 3 over 2x squared plus 48 root 3 x negative 1, am I right? So that it's easier for me to differentiate. Okay, so ds dx will be root 3x. Agree? root 3x over x squared. Okay? Now, what did the question say? What did the question say? Find the value of x for which the cost of aluminum needed to produce a container is a minimum. So when is 0, I will have root 3x minus 48 root 3 over x squared is equals to 0, right? Now I multiply throughout by x squared. So I will get a root 3x cubed. Okay? I will have root 3x cubed equals to 48 root 3. X cubed equals to 48. Correct? So what is x? Cube root 48. Agree? If I key in the calculator, it's 3.6342. 5 truncate. Everybody clear? Everybody clear? Okay, the question says, find the value of x for which the cost of aluminum needed to produce the container is a minimum. Now, I cannot say that this is the minimum yet. I got to do the square s dx squared. Okay? Now, I'm going to do it here. What is d2s dx squared? All of you tell me, what does it give me? First one. Just root 3, right? Then what? Last one. 96 root 3 x minus 3, right? Okay? So I'll get root 3 plus 96 root 3 over x cubed. Okay. When x is 3.6342, d2s dx squared will be root 3 plus 96 root 3 over 3.6342 cubed. Correct? Now, do you agree that this will confirm be a positive number? I don't even have to work out. It's confirmed a positive number, right? Therefore, s is a minimum. Agree? S is a minimum. Okay? Now, next part 3. Let's look at part 3. Explain what would happen to the cost of aluminum used if the value of x were arbitrarily chosen, that means anyhow choose, instead of taking the value obtained in part 2. Sorry, this one you got to give to 3 sig fit finally. Understand? Okay, but you do the working, you got to use 5 truncate. Everybody clear? Yeah? You can leave it in the cube. No problem. You can leave it in the cube. I'm okay with that. Okay, now I want to talk about the last part. Why is it that if I don't take this value, I take any value, it will. What will happen to the cost? It will not be the minimum cost of. You agree or not? Because the s squared, the x squared will not be 0. You understand what I'm talking about? I mean, it will not be a minimum. You get what I'm talking about here? Okay? Alright, so I just write here. Estimate what will happen to the cost. Cost of aluminum will be higher, agree? You must answer to the question. The question said, explain what would happen to the cost of aluminium used if the value of x were arbitrarily chosen instead of taking the value obtained in part 2. The value that we obtain in part 2 is the one that will give me the minimum S. Can you see what I'm talking about? Okay, so if you use other value, S will not be minimum, therefore the cost will increase. Okay, so if any arbitrary value is chosen, S will not be a minimum, and hence the cost of aluminium will be higher. Everybody clear? Everybody clear with what I'm saying? Yes or no? Yes, huh? Okay. Alright. After this, right, can those who have already finished it pass it to the front? Okay, pass it to the front. Okay, I have already finished off on maxima and minima. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go through the next section. Go through the next section. Now, the next section is actually not too simple because can you see that all this while we have been doing algebra? You clear with what I'm talking about? Okay, all of you listen carefully, this is important. I did algebra, we have done equation of tangents and normals, right? Then we have done rates of change. Remember rates of change? We have done increasing, decreasing functions. Remember? When the y, the x is bigger than 0, that kind of thing. Okay? And we have also done connected rates of change. And this one, stationary point and maxima, minima. Okay? Now, all these is in the context of algebra. Okay? But differentiation is not just confined to algebra. We have trigo, Ex, and ln x. Okay, you understand? Now, before I carry on, right? May I know what's the meaning of this? Log to base what? 10. It's called common log. Okay, what is this? Log to base what? E. What's the value of E? Around 2.7 something. Okay? This is called ln. It's ln. Don't go and put in, understand? Okay, people go and put in your head. Then I'll write down that out. Understand, huh? Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you that all the things that we have done, right, will be applicable to trigo, Ex, and ln x. Understand what I'm talking about? Now, I'm going to give you some formulas first, because this textbook actually gives formulas in a very funny way, which I don't like. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what is the one on trigo first, the basic one first. Then I will go through the examples. Will that be okay? Alright, now let's take a look at algebra first now. When I differentiate sine x, I will get cosine x. When I differentiate cosine x, I will get negative sine x. And when I differentiate tangent x, I will get secant square x. And mind you, when we do all this, right, the x is in radians. It is not in degrees. Do you understand? It is in radians and not degrees. Everybody clear? Okay? So this is the basic for sine, cosine, tangent. I will go through those chain rule, product rule in all this later. Okay? It's a lot of hassle. Okay? Now next one that I want you to take down, that your textbook is quite strange, which I don't like at all, but never mind. Since we bought the textbook, we must use it, right? Okay, I want you to take down this. I do everything together, I don't like to do it parts. Okay? When I differentiate Ex, I will still get Ex. This is the best thing on earth. No need to think. Okay, but the text gave you something else, but it's very funny. I want to give you in a very nice way. If you differentiate E, then on top of some algebra, what do you do, right? So you write that E something first, then you times the differentiation. You write this down first, I'll show you what it means. Okay? Now, what does this second part mean, right? All of you look up, I give you an example, okay? For example, y is E 2x plus 4. Can you see the top? It's the algebra, can you see? Yes, no? Of course, if it's EX, then just EX now, then you talk about this. Outside, So, what is dy dx? You just copy down this. The thing must be there. Then you got differentiate the top, become what? 2, right? So, the final one will just be 2. Like that. Understand? Okay, now why did I give you this? If you look at page, all of you look at page 78. All of you look at page 78. Can you see this textbook gives you EU and then U whatever. It's very difficult for you to understand. You understand? I want you to straight away understand. You get what I'm talking about here? Okay, it's actually the same thing. It's actually Quotient Rule. Alright? Now, then the next one that we are going to have, okay, and the textbook also gave a funny way, which I don't like. Just write this down. When I differentiate log x, it will give me 1 over x. What if I differentiate this? It will be just f prime x over fx. I will show you this what it means. Okay? What is it talking about? Okay? Supposing I have y equals to log 3x plus 4, let's say. Okay? Can you see? It's fx, right? In terms of x, right? Okay? dy dx will be what? You write down the original one below. Can see? Then on top is what? The differentiation, right? What's the differentiation of this? 3 log. This is what it is. Everybody okay? Everybody okay? Can? Okay, Now, why is it that I give you this as well? Okay, if you don't believe me, right? Can you all turn to page 84? Can you all turn to page 84? Now, can you see they give you in log U again? Can you see what I'm talking about? Then you don't know what to do after that. You understand what I'm saying? So if I give you this, is clearer. Can you see what I'm talking about? Everybody knows what I'm talking about here. Yes or no? They're actually the same thing, but I just find that the U part, right, you get very confused. Okay? So I repeat, when you differentiate sine, you get cosine. If you differentiate cosine, you get negative sine. If you differentiate tangent, you get secant squared. Everybody okay? This is the best. EX, you get EX. Then what if like E, then something, then you just copy down the whole thing, then you differentiate and put in front. That's all. Times. Okay? Now this one, when you have log x, you get 1 over x. Okay? Then when you have log fx, what do? You take the whole thing, put below, then after that you differentiate, put on top. Everybody okay? Huh? So, but of course I'm not going to do all 3 lah. I just want you to write down and consolidate in a bit first. Okay? Because this one needs some time to settle down. Okay? Today I'll just do trigo first. Okay, 15.1. Will that be okay? Alright? Okay. I hope this one helps you more than the textbook. Because that one is very confusing. I don't like it at all. Okay? Alright, so basically this is what we are going to do for today. So I'm going to show you how we are going to differentiate. Alright, let's take a look at the front first. Okay? Can you look at page 70? I'm going to concentrate on trig functions first. Okay? Now let's look at example 1. Supposing I have y equals to 3 sine x minus 2 cosine x. How am I going to differentiate this? Okay? All of you look up. Don't look at the textbook. I'll have dy dx, right? 3 remains, right? Sine x, when I differentiate, become cosine x. Understand? Follow, put negative 2. Cosine x, when I differentiate, become negative sine x. Must remember. Okay? So this will give me 3 cosine x then plus 2 sine x. Some of these people in this class like to write this. Once you write this, you are dead. Because this is minus 2 minus, there's no times. You understand? You understand what I'm talking about? It's a different story altogether. Everybody okay? That's why I said brackets are very important. Everybody okay? So this is the first set that we have, the simple ones. Are we okay? Are we okay with the first example? Why didn't I say I don't like the textbook presentation? Can you see so long-winded? By the time you do, you get all mistakes already. Also, just straight away doing. Next one, part B. This one is product rule. Can you see it's x squared times cosine x? Okay, all of you look up. You need to copy all the answer in the textbook. You just have to listen to me. Fix this right. Differentiate this, become what? Negative sine x plus, fix this right, then 2x. So you get negative x squared sine x plus 2x cosine x. Usually we put the trigo at the back. Everybody okay? Yeah. Yeah. Everybody okay? All the rules follow, Do you understand? Yeah. Go. Can I go to part C now? Are you okay now? All the rules still follow, no, just that we use that one, understand? Okay. Last one. Example 1. When you see this, right, all of you are freaked out. Usually, students don't like trigo. Then when it comes to differentiation and integration of trigo, it's even worse. You understand? Already you don't like trigo, then you still must do something about trigo. You must not throw it away, right? Correct? Cannot. If it's not in the syllabus, I won't be so free to teach you. Understand? Oh? So what's dy dx? Can you see I got to use quotient rule? What's quotient rule? Tell me again. Square. Square what? Square the bottom. Very good. Fix the bottom. Differentiate the top. Become what? Secant square x. Minus. It's minus not plus. Your test a lot of people put plus and box you out of the book then, you know. Okay? Minus what? Minus nothing. I know you are tired. I know the time is like that. That's why I never scold. I ask you again, If not, you've been dead. I tell you first, Minus what? Fix top. Okay. Differentiate bottom. Like this, right? Can Okay, So, this is just x plus 1 secant square x minus tangent x over x plus 1 square. For need to simplify, just leave it like that. I will know that you know already. Don't careful, go and use what x squared plus 2ab plus b squared, that kind of rubbish. Understand or not? Just leave it. Do you understand? Cannot. Then don't careful, go and times again. Then after that, concussion, then cannot do. Understand? Cannot. Now, can you see all the rules follow? You just need to memorize these 3, that's all. You know why I memorize these 3 only? Because when you integrate later, you will go back to the other one. I cannot memorize things, I only memorize once. I don't care. That's why I told you I don't like bio because I want to memorize a lot of rubbish. I don't like. I am the kind that I want to use that I know care already. I don't even care about formula list. You understand what I'm talking about? You do until you know the formula. Why should you prefer the formula list? Am Alright? Okay? Alright, so are we clear so far? Are we clear so far? Okay, next we are going on to more difficult questions. Okay, I have 4 examples. I'm sorry, I cannot say I stop lesson now because the lesson is until 4:40. If every Tuesday, right, even I stop at 4:40, right, I stop at 4 o'clock, let's say, we cannot finish syllabus. Okay, you heard the news, right? Don't have mid-year exam, right? Are you happy about it? If it's you, would you want to have mid-year exam? How many want? How many don't want? How many anything also can? Anything also can means don't want actually. Because to me, right, as a teacher, I'd rather you take the mid-year exam because it's a gauge for you whether you are there or not and what is it that you're lacking. But of course, some people will say, Ministry already said, why you kaypoh? Still want, right? Or you think we enjoy setting paper? Do you know how difficult it is to set a paper? You know it's damn difficult, you know. You must make sure that the paper is of good quality, not the paper of the quality of the paper, the item itself. Okay? Then you must see whether the paper can sieve out the A1 from the A2. So. Okay? It takes experience, of course. It cannot be a paper, A1 also F9, F9 also F9. Then every whole level got to be medium. Understand? And it cannot be everyone also A1. Then everybody very cute, very clever. Cannot be not so clever one. Everybody clear? Okay, so it's not easy. So let's see what the schools. They say we can embark on it. Is it? What did the news say?
I think it's for our batch still can have video.
Can have but also can don't have, right?
Yeah.
So you want to have or don't want to have?
I want.
Who wants again? Wow, okay, this class very fine. Okay, some class straight away, wow, don't have a year, who ready go party already, Okay, alright, come. The other time when I took the Sec 3s, right, they did very badly for the Sec 3 end of year exam. Okay, but that paper was super difficult. It's out of the blues kind, right? Like once in a lifetime, then you get one kind of this kind of paper. But your paper was a reasonable one. I will look through one. You don't think I gong, I don't know. Okay. So what I did for my class was that I set a paper for them, and they are supposed to revise during November, December. January, the first 2 lessons for A Maths. I don't care what maths are. January, the first 2 lessons, paper 2 straight away you do. Okay, I want to see where you are. Then if you fail that paper, right, which I gauge very closely to O levels, then we can confirm fail. Then I have 8 to 10 of them confirm fail. I said you come out right now. Line up one row in front of me. Are you going to pass or are you going to fail? That kind of thing. So luckily you'll never get me. I'm very fierce right now. I get in set 1, you like it worse, I tell you first. First of all, I'll call out all the DSA. It doesn't mean that you DSA, you come, you can don't do work for it. Just play your ball, dance. They don't care about my maths, I tell you first. Okay, everybody's the same. Do you understand? Okay? Then I will score first. Then I was frightened then. I said, you don't do well, you go to NA. Remember Express, you don't do well, you straight away go to NA. There's no repeat, in set 1. Then my class very scared. They said, chum already, they will have a 209. Until 8 only, right? Then they will have a 209 whereby the whole class will transfer there. Then there was once I was absent. Why am I talking about all this? Because you are tired. You are talking about this one, you should die already. So must relax a bit first. Okay? I was not around. I went for medical appointment. So what happened was that another teacher took over. Then they couldn't do the factorization of Sec 2 level. Sec 2 is an overdosage of algebra. Okay, Sec 2 mid-year sure fail, and I know. Because overdosage cannot take it. Then after that, final, okay, we survived already. Okay? Then the teacher tell them, wow, you're like that, Later you cannot do A Maths, then you know. Then they are very cool and zen about it. They just look at them. Wow, Joy, you're so kind one. We say we are all going to normal. Then the teacher came back. I came back from the command. She started scolding me. She said, you want to die? Why are you going to scare of us? I said, yeah, but they're all confirmed going to normal. They don't want to work hard. They want the result to drop down from the sky. Why got this kind of thing? If you tell me result A's are dropping from Jurong, you tell me, you know, I will take all the basket from Xinmin and go and hop all the A and give it to you. But don't have. So far, no A's ever dropped. You tell me where I should go. I tell all my teachers all go now. Go and collect all the A's for my students. Okay? But the thing is that A's don't drop from the sky. You must work hard. Do you understand? So, by fearing sine, cosine, and tangent, no use. Must look at it and do. Understand? Come, let's do the next one. Example 2, right? Now like that already. Dun, 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 dun. How are we going to differentiate? Okay. First of all, of course, please go and write down dy dx. Okay, I teach you like, don't copy, I say don't copy now. Copy also no use. Don't know means don't know, okay? Sine, when you differentiate, come up. Cosine. You put cosine. Just put first. Then you differentiate inside. What is it? 3. Very good. So later on you put 3 like that. Understand? Put a number in front. Everybody clear? Can you see I also do from outside inside? It's just like chain rule. Everybody clear? So 3 cosine 3x plus 2. Is that clear? Yes or no? Yes, huh? Okay. Like, next one. This is not the worst, huh? This one shows big one. I want ladies and gentlemen to wake up and know that pi over 3 is actually a constant. It's a number. Okay? Don't go and differentiate with respect to pi. Rubbish. Okay? Now, dy dx cosine differentiate become what? Negative sine. Very good. Differentiate inside. 2. Very good. Like that, that's all finished. Everybody clear? Everybody clear? Okay, next one, like. Okay. Some people when they see this, right, wow, concussion cannot do. I read for you something now. Is it better? X over 2 is half x. Don't tell me you don't know. Okay. Dy x become what? Secant square. Secant square the whole thing. Understand? Differentiate inside. Become what? Negative half. Everybody okay? So this one become negative half secant square pi minus half x. Get? Yeah. So far okay now? So far okay, huh? Good. Very good. Very good. Divide dx, right? Cosine? Cosine what? Times what? Differentiate this one become what? 5x4. Correct now? So you will get 5x4 cosine x5. Everybody okay so far? Everybody okay so far? Okay. Then I need to show you something. Because some people don't know what's this. Is there a difference? Better wake up now. If you don't wake up, don't know your problem. Okay, I'm not going to repeat. Is there a difference? No difference. Or like that. This one, the 5 belongs to what? The x, right? Sine power 5x is actually sine x 5 times. What's the meaning of sine square x? Sine x times sine x, right? You get sine square x. So sine 5x is actually sine x power 5, no? You understand what I'm talking about here? Okay, then this is where students make mistake in the differentiation, okay? Now I'm going to write like that first, all of you look up, don't copy, I say already, copy, I'm going to tear away your paper, okay? Alright, I write like that, easier to see. Alright, but if you're comfortable with this, it's fine, I'm fine with it as well. dy dx. Okay, all of you look up, this is important. 5 power 4, right? Decrease power. Then differentiate the inside. Become what? Cosine x. Okay? That means, now this one, I can write it this way. Cosine x. So it's 5 sine 4x cosine x. Now if you don't want to write this way, what I'm worried about is this. All of you look up. You will write dy dx is 5 sine 4x. Then you forget to differentiate the sine x. You understand what I'm talking about? You forget the inside, you know. You get what I mean? It can even be worse. Let me show you something, okay? Okay, I look at your face. I think you can take it, Like that, how? Can you see diary? Product your head, product. How to product rule?
Sorry.
It's not product rule. Can you see? I got to bring down 5 first, then become power 4. Then this whole thing, right? Then I got to differentiate this one, you know. Then after I differentiate, I'm going to differentiate the inside, you know. Can you see? Can do until die one. It's chain after chain after chain. You understand what I'm talking about? So must be clear-minded what they want. Of course, not so level don't have I'm just telling you Because if you watch my video from many years ago, 2018 that year, they actually want to create one that I cannot differentiate. The student very clever. They give me until you go and differentiate yourself. Then make mistake Because show me mistake. What is even worse is you see what I'm talking about here? Can you see this one? Confirm Pek San dies. Can you see what I'm talking about here? Okay? Alright, no. Life must start from simple to difficult. So we start like that. Are we okay with this? Yes, Okay, good. That means this class got hope Got hope, Come.